Most people in Paris think that there is only one club, but that almost isn't really true. Back in 1970, Paris FC emerged with another club in Paris called Stade Saint-Germain, creating today what would be called as PSG. And then just about 2 years later, those two clubs eventually split apart in 1972. Everybody else thought that Paris FC would dominate France and be the best team in Paris. But instead, PSG became the Giants of Paris. Now, Paris FC are finally back in Ligue 1. And the crazy thing is that they are literally across the road from PSG. Now, ladies and gentlemen, it is time to rewrite history in Paris. So today I'm rebuilding Paris FC using only PSG rejects to see if I can take Paris FC to be one of the best teams in Paris and dominate over PSG and potentially become one of the best teams in Europe. So in this rebuild, if we want to take over PSG and become the best team in Paris, we have to follow these simple rules that are allowed and not allowed in today's video challenge. Rule number 1, we can only sign former PSG players. And rule number 2, we can only sign PSG Academy graduates. Is we can only sign players that have been linked with PSG but never quite went through. So those are the transfer rules for us today in this video. Now there are some more rules that we have to follow that we cannot do. And that is we cannot sign a random wonder kid with no PSG links. And another rule that we have to stay by is we cannot make a mega unrealistic signing. Now with the rules all set and targeted, let's see if we can take over Paris and be the dominant team in Paris. Okay, season 1 with Paris FC. This is the squad we're currently working with. Reminder, we do have the chance to make some signings. We definitely do need some upgrades. We do have Ciro Immobile, who's 36 years old. We do have Kevin Trapp, who's also 35. We could do with maybe a right back. Left back, we can maybe trust in Siangai. Lise Malou, Matondo, he's 18. We can maybe trust in him. Moses Simon, he's pretty good. Cabal, he could be pretty good. But so far we do have a team to work with and we could definitely use some upgrades. With the clear out starting to begin, if we really want to compete this season with PSG, we're going to need to clear some of the older players in this Paris squad. So our first departure will be 35-year-old Kevin Trapp. He is going to Valencia for £800,000. Another player going out on loan, it's Jan Corre. He's off to Parma for 12 months. And Al Khalouchi is off to Al Tawoun for £600,000. And Timothy, he's off to Swansea for £400,000. And Julian Lopez, he is off to Turkey for £430,000. And De Schmidt, he is off to the other side of France. He is going to Nice for £1.5 million. And some more big money coming our way. Gori, he is off to Ancelet for £1.3 million. And Tirana, he's off to Tellers for £1.5 million. And here is our final departure of season number 1. And it's our star right back, Hami Toure, is off to PSV for £2.9 million. And with £36 million, we're going to be spending around £16 to £17 million on a goalkeeper for the future. He is making the move from Niam in Saudi Arabia for £17.5 million. It's Marcin Bulka. And we are bringing in a star striker that came through the Paris Saint-Germain Academy. We're going to need a star striker since Ciro Immobile is around 34 years old. So we're going to need somebody young, and he's French. He's played in Ligue 1 before, so I believe this signing will suit us very, very well. And it's Arnaud Calamundo making his move from Forest for £13 million. And with our remaining budget, we really need a brand new right back. He's come through the PSG Academy, dropped by PSG himself. He's currently at Sunderland. And it's Timothy Pembele making a move to Sunderland back to Paris for £3 million. And with season 1 about to kick off, this is the Paris FC team. Going into season 1, we're gonna trust in some of the youngsters like Sangi, Matondo and Timothy Pembele to see if they can really grow in season number 1. And with our first game against Paris Saint-Germain, it's at the Parc de France. Can we pick up a big victory? Which we do! We beat Paris Saint-Germain 3-1 at their home ground. What a start to the first Paris derby. Halfway through the season number 1, and in Ligue 1, Paris FC currently sit 10th in the league table. And Paris Saint-Germain are currently running the league away on 40 points. It's not looking good for us as we want to be better than PSG, but in season 1 I don't really expect much. AS Monaco 38. Let's hope Monaco can pull things out of the bag and start pulling some strings. So with the team, I am going to stick with what I have at the moment. We're going to trust in some of the youngsters and hopefully they can pull through. And is our game 2 against Paris Saint-Germain. We're home this time. Can we do the league double over our rivals PSG? Which we do not. PSG get the better of us this time with the score of 3-1. Maybe it was just a one-off when we beat them 3-1 at the Parc de France. Maybe we're just not quite yet to compete with teams like PSG. But hopefully, season 2, we can start competing with them. Season 1 has come to an end and Paris FC has finished 7th. That means we're in UEFA Conference League, but only the qualification stage. And our rivals PSG do get the better of us this season as they win League on 82 points. AS Monaco behind them on 75. And the teams getting relegated this season is Nice and Havre, with Stade Brestois in a relegation playoff. And with our top goal scorer being Ilan Kebal on 21 goals, 5 assists. Arnold Calamundo, 13 goals, no assists. He's played 33 matches, which has mean Ciro Immobile's only played 9 games. Down by 5. I knew something like that would happen. Calamundo, he is up to a 79, which is ideal. And I also saw both of our keepers, Marcin Bolka and Obed Nakayamban Badio. Please don't make fun of me for that. They have both grown really well. Bolka up to an 81 and Obed, he is up to a 78. And don't forget, these are the people that are leaving. Lise Malou, he's leaving on a free. Marticini, come on. Hamal, Ciro Immobile, I'm guessing he's probably going to be retiring. And Remy Ryu, he's retiring at the end of the season. With season 2 underway, we really need to start replacing some of the players that left last season. So I'm going to go ahead and sign another Paris Saint-Germain academy graduate who couldn't quite break out into the squad, so we're bringing him over to their rivals in Christopher Nkunku from AC Milan for £23 million. And with a former player who used to play for PSG, it's Mitchell Bakker. He's making the move from Atalanta for £10 million. And with a few departures to try raise up the budget so we can get just a few more signings in. And with our first departure, Rudy Motondo, he's going over to RCD Mallorca on loan for 1 year. Jonathan Ione, he's going to French rivals Olympique Marseille for £5.5 million. Corre, he's going on another loan, but this time to Genk for 12 months. And another departure, Duchet is going to FC Cologne in Germany for £2.2 million. Funny enough with this signing, this kid I've just signed started at Paris FC as a kid, but then later on in his career he moved to the PSG academy, broke into their starting 11 and then got rejected by PSG. And it is Ismail Garbi. He is making the move back to Paris FC. With player sales finally done and transfers finally done, this is how the team looks in season number 2. Can we at least try and compete for some sort of Europe this season, or maybe win a domestic trophy? And in season 2, we have the first derby with PSG. It's at the Parc de France again. Last season, we beat them 3-1. Can we follow it up? Which we don't. We almost. It ends PSG 3, Paris FC 2. Let's just hope next time around we can do something better. We are in January, and so far we are in a Conference League place. We are 5th, 1 point behind Olympique Marseille. So far, so good for Paris FC. And in January, RC Lens are top of the table, only 1 point ahead of our Paris rivals PSG, who are currently sat on 37 points. And I can also confirm we in fact did not get Conference League. Even though I said we had the qualification, we didn't get it. Oh well. On to next season. Now, due to squad depth, we really need a backup striker. The striker here, again, he is French and he has come from their youth academy. He can come off the bench, he can score goals. It's Moussa Dembele. He joins Paris FC on a free transfer. And with some more additions to the bench, we're signing Fadiga from FC Lorient for £700,000. And with our final signing in the January transfer window, we really needed a backup winger. So I saw this guy. He is an ex-PSG Academy graduate, and I think he suits the team very well. In Junior Diana Iambe from Preston for £4.7 million. With all of our signings complete, we now focus on our next game, which is PSG. Our final derby game in Paris. Can we pick up the major 3 points we need? Okay. 2-2. I will take that. Cherki with a goal, and Christopher Nkunku with a goal against his former club, PSG. What a way to say, hey, fuck you. I'll take that. It's a point in the derby, and we're 1 step closer to taking over Paris. End of season 2, and Paris FC might just have the chance to play Champions League football next season. But unfortunately, PSG do go back to back. They do win Ligue 1 once again. RC Lens fall short by 13 points. But that is my least concerns at the moment, because Paris FC could be playing Champions League football next season in season number 3. Let's get at it. And the teams going down in season number 2 is FC Nantes and FC Metz. And the Coupe de France winners go to our rivals PSG. This rebuild's not really going good. They are really starting to show why they are the best team in Paris. But don't underestimate us. It's only 2 seasons deep. We can maybe pull some strings in season number 3. I can't wait. Now that we are in Champions League contentions, we will be checking every Europa League, Champions League, Conference League winners. Season number 2, Champions League winner goes to Manchester City. And Europa League goes to Man United. They beat Real Sociedad 2-0. And the Conference League, which I think is absolutely deserved. We should have been in it. But Wolfsburg win 3-1. And stats-wise, Arnold Calamundo has had a brilliant season. 20 goal contributions, 17 goals, 3 assists. His best season so far, but we just need that little bit more from him next season. Same with Christopher Nkunku, 16 goal contributions, 10 goals, 6 assists. He hasn't grown. I mean, he is 30, but he is just the type of player we do need. Now, season 3, Champions League contenders. If we really want to try and make the Champions League this season through their qualification, some players that have European experience and some players that can get us to that Champions League that we need to get to. So we're bringing in a new right back in Nordi Mukalele from Sunderland for around £20 million. And we are bringing in another former PSG player in Dan Axel Zagadou from Real Betis for £13 million. His contract was expiring, so we managed to get him for much cheaper. And we have just made an absolute statement signing. He joined PSG as a teenager. He came through their academy and managed to break into their starting 11. From making the switch to Paris FC is Moussa Diaby from Al Ittihad for £30 million. And with the only departure this season, he submitted a transfer request, so we had to let him leave. It's Samir Chaguri. He's off to Leicester for £2.7 million. We have our first Champions League qualification game. It is against Sparta. Can we pick up a big win just like we need? We don't. Sparta Prague beat us 2-1 as we head into Paris for the second leg. We need to win if we want to be in the Champions League this season. Second leg in Paris against Sparta Prague. Oh, who's unavailable then? Oh, couldn't care less, to be honest. We need a big win, which we get 4-0, and we move on to the next round. Come on, Paris. This is the tie that matters. Benfica, Paris FC. We're in Portugal. Surely we can maybe win. We do. Garbi and Nkunku. We head into Paris with a 1-goal advantage. Last leg. It's 2-1 Paris FC against Benfica. Please, for a chance in the Champions League. It's 2-2. And we are in the Champions League for this season. Come on, bring it on. With our first Champions League game to kick off the campaign, we face Sporting. We beat their rivals Benfica. Can we do the same against Sporting Lisbon? Surely we can get the 3 points. In Portugal, we do. Moussa Diaby and Calamundo score the goals for Paris FC. And with our second tie, with probably one of the toughest ones yet, is against Arsenal. In Paris, our left back's injured. No. That means Sangai will take his place for this tie against Arsenal. It's going to be tough, but hopefully we can pick 3 points. Oof. Close. Kibau with a brace. Martinelli, Gyökeres and Saliba for Arsenal. It's 3-2 to Arsenal. On to the next Champions League game. Match day 3 in the Champions League. We go to Bodo Glimt. Baker is still out. He'll be out for majority of the season, so Sangai will step in for majority of the season. It's got to be easy 3 points, right? Apparently not. 2 shots, 2 chances, 2 goals for Bodo Glimt. We've had 60% possessions, 6 shots, 6 chances, and we can't take them. Embarrassing. We're back with the Champions League. Manchester United. Can we pick up a shock win here? I'm not convinced. I am really not convinced. Maybe this season just isn't our season. While we're too busy thinking about Champions League, don't forget we have the Paris derby. PSG. We're home this time. Surely, don't embarrass us. Oh, again. Just proves we're not good enough yet for PSG. And next up in the Champions League is Borussia Dortmund. I don't have any hope whatsoever, but it would be nice just to pick up a point here. A point would be good, but we get 3 points. What a win against Dortmund. What a win. Moussa Diaby and Grasso. What a win in this Champions League run. Oh my God. And next up is a Greek side in AEK Athens. We've got both Baker and Lopez out. So Matondo will step in place for Lopez in today's game. I'm expecting a big win here. A real big win here. And it is a big win. 4-0 against the Greeks. Calamundo and Nkunku, Kibau twice 4-0. Is this only just the beginning? January 1st in season number 3, Paris FC sit third. I like it so far. I want to finish at least top 3 this season so I don't have to go through qualification again. Ideally, I want to be challenging that title with PSG and maybe dethroning them once and for all, because so far throughout this episode, they have been unstoppable. But so far, what a great season it's been for us so far. With a few people wanting to leave the club this January transfer window, I don't have a choice, so we're going to let some of these players leave. He's been here since day one. Adama Kamara, he's going to MLS for just under £2 million. And I was very sad about this, but Ilan Cabal, he wanted to go, so he's going to Burnley for £18 million. With the departure of Cabal, I've just had to work my ass off to bring this new star man in, spend every single penny we've got. Hopefully it will be worth it. So therefore we're bringing in Mohamed Ali Cho from Nice for £29 million. Welcome to Paris. But don't forget about Champions League. Next up is Real Betis. Mohamed Ali Cho is now in the squad. Lopez is back fit. Not quite yet for Bakers. He should be back by the next month. Fingers crossed we can get another win. We do. Cho on the score sheet and Cuckoo and Calamondo on the score sheet. Big win as we beat Real Betis 3-1. Is this our moment? I am praying to God we can get far and far into the Champions League this season. And our final stop in the Champions League is Feyenoord in the Netherlands. Surely we can get a win here. We don't, but Mohamed Ali Cho gets the 2 goals and secures us that point. It's all down now to where we have finished in the Champions League. We have finished 13th, which means we go through the Champions League playoffs with the likes of Arsenal, Man City, Juventus, Barcelona, Man United, Leipzig are in there as well. It's going to be tough, but hopefully we can get a team like Slavia Prague, Dynamo Zagreb, and maybe even like an Ajax or Sporting. Unfortunately, the Champions League god wasn't nice to us. We have pulled RB Leipzig. Not too easy, but not too difficult. It is a fair matchup, I guess, but let's just jump straight into it. Baker is back. Surely now that we've got a decent left back, we can maybe pick up a win here. In Germany, we don't. Mukiele gets sent off. Calamondo misses a penalty. It's not good enough. We're going to have to really come back in the next tie. Mukiele is out due to suspension, so Timothy Pembele will step in his shoes. Can we come back from this 2-0 loss? We don't. And that is our Champions League run coming to an end in the playoffs. It's all down now to where we have finished in the league and see if we can go again next season. End of the season, it's our final game against PSG at the Parc de France. Can we pick up a win? We can. Calamundo and Mukiele, the former right back and the former academy graduate Calamundo, gets on the score sheet, and it's a Derby Day victory for Paris FC. Yes, and at the end of season 3, Paris FC will be back in the Champions League and some proper Champions League money. We miss out by 5 points to our rivals, Paris Saint-Germain, once again. I'll take it, we're second, but next season we need to win a league title to dethrone Paris Saint-Germain. And the teams getting relegated in season number 3 is Saint Etienne and Havre AC. Coupe de France goes to Angers as they beat RC Lens 2-1. We get knocked out in the quarterfinals against RC Lens 2-1. At least it's not on penalties. That's all I'm saying. At least it's not on penalties. I won't take it, but I will. And the Champions League winners go to Bayern Leverkusen after they beat Man City 5-3 on pens. And Fiorentina are the champions of the Europa League after beating Real Sociedad 3-2. And Atalanta is the champions of the Conference League by beating Sevilla 3-0. And end of season 3 stats, just by going off the stats here, everybody has done their part. Arnold Calamunde, 23 goals, 6 assists. He's up by 2. 84 overall. That is what we need. And Christopher Nkunku, 37 goal contributions. 20 goals, 17 assists for Christopher Nkunku. What a signing he's turned out to be. And Mohamed Ali Cho, he's only been here half a season for us. 15 goals, 4 assists for the 25-year-old. Only up by 1. Maybe next season when he's got a full season, he can really start to grow. And the player's leaving because I have no money to renew their contract, or they don't want to renew their contract. It's Moses Simon and Lamine Gay. Now, this young man was a high prospect for PSG, but he couldn't quite get into that starting 11. The poor young lad, he went on loans and then he got transferred to RB Leipzig. So now he's making the move back to Paris, but not for PSG, for Paris FC. And it is Xavi Simons making the move from Tottenham Hotspur for £48 million. 26 years old, 85 overall. For that kind of price, it's really, really good. And another player that used to be a regular starter for PSG is making the move to their rival club. And it's Manuel Ugarte, the Uruguayan. He's making the move from Man United for £26.5 million. And our final signing, it is a veteran. He is 33 years old, but we are going to need some of that experience heading into the Champions League. So we've gone ahead and signed Marco Asensio from Fibonacci for £9.5 million. With the team finally looking better than it has done in ages. Hopefully this can be the season we can win some silverware. And as season 4's underway, Champions League is back. Fiorentina, it should be, I'm not going to say easy because every time I do say that, it's not. So, 3 points maybe? Yes! 3 points. What a way to start a Champions League campaign. It's Xavi, Diaby, let's go. And up next in the Champions League, it's Wolfsburg. Our team is performing brilliantly so far. Can we continue this run? We do! Another 2-1 victory! Xavi and Ugarte are both on the score sheet. This is the best type of run we need if we want to compete in the Champions League. And we've got probably an easy tie. I did say that last time, and we did lose. But it's Quarterback. It should be an easy enough win. It is. 3-1, Moussa Diaby, Koulibaly, and Koulibaly again. 3 out of 3 for Paris FC. What a start. Our 4th game in the Champions League. We're away in Ukraine against Dynamo Kiev. Manuel Ugarte is out suspended. So Marco Asensio will take his place for this Champions League tie. It should be a fairly easy win. We do get the win. Mohamed Ali Cho gets both of the goals. But don't forget we've got a derby against PSG in Ligue 1. We're home this time. The Battle of Paris. Surely we can make a statement by saying we are better than PSG, or at least be contenders. And it's a 3-0 win. Koulibaly gets 2 goals and Xavi gets a goal. The PSG Academy graduate who couldn't quite get in the PSG team is in the Paris FC squad, and he is showing what PSG are missing out on. Manchester City at the Etihad Stadium. Zagadou is out due to suspension, so Mbo will take his place. Here we go. Can we get a shock win at the Etihad? We do. 3-0. Another 3-0 against a top tier team. Marco Asensio, Mohamed Ali Cho with a brace. What a win that was. And it's a trip to Ligue Warsaw. Our team is absolutely shattered. But hopefully it doesn't stop anything from us but winning. It's a 3-2. Calamundo could have got a fourth. Xavi with a goal, Cho with a goal, and Calamundo. So he could have got a brace. Could have made it a little bit easier. But we'll take the 3 points. Halfway through season 4. And so far, we are finishing above Paris Saint-Germain. We're both on 32 points. We're sat in 3rd. PSG are in 4th. We've had a good start to the season. It's just all about how we finish. Monaco so far, they're unbeaten in the league. 14 wins, drawn 2, no losses. Hopefully by the end of the season we can be up there and potentially get our first Ligue 1 instead of PSG. So just taking a look at this squad halfway through season 4. Cho's not really growing, but I don't have enough money yet. So we're going to stick with the team what we have. And if we don't win the Champions League by season 5, we will look to replace some of the weaker players. Champions League nights again. I love Champions League nights. We take on Atletico Madrid. Can we get a big win in Paris to secure ourselves into the round of 16? Which we do by the skin of our teeth. 1-0 in the 6th minute by Calamundo, and that should mean we go through to the round of 16 in the Champions League. And up next, it is Bayern Munich. If we win this, this means we go 9 games, 9 wins, but Xavi Simons is suspended for this match. So that means 79 Roted Garbi will take his playmaking role in a massive matchup. Surely we can win, hopefully. It's a draw. 2-2, and the superstar gets a goal. We end the league phase unbeaten. It's now the round of 16 in the Champions League. We go to the Netherlands as we face Feyenoord. We've got our full team in this squad. Can we pull off a big win? 2-0. Calamundo with a brace. He has been a superb signing since day one. Second leg, we've got a 2-goal advantage at home in Paris. We should get away by the skin of our teeth. Calamundo again on the score sheet, and Paris FC are in the quarterfinals of the Champions League. Can we win the Champions League just in 4 seasons? Quarter-final of the Champions League, and we have drawn Tottenham. So we head to the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium in North London. We've got our full team. Let's do this. Surely we get a win. It's a 2-2 heading into Paris. Mukulele with an 83rd minute equaliser. Calamundo yet again gets on the score sheet. He is just so key this season. Hopefully in Paris we can knock out Tottenham. This is a must-win leg in the Champions League quarterfinals against Tottenham. We are back in Paris. We need a big win, which we get. And it's not just a win. We absolutely thump Tottenham Hotspur 3-0. Calamundo, I'm not going to say it anymore. I've said it too many times already. But Paris FC are in the Champions League semi-final. Get in. I think you guys know it. It's a regular routine in this video. Derby against Paris. Ugarte is suspended again. So the boy Marco Asensio is stepping in place. Can we do the double? We can do the double. We can do the double. Oh my god. Same man's on the score sheet again. He's scoring week in, week out. I've got no words. I have got no words. And Kunku on the score sheet as well. Hugo Ekitike. I was this close to signing him last season, but I didn't want to. Trusted in Calamundo. And it's paying off. The double over PSG. And it's Champions League semi-final as we face Bayern Leverkusen. But this time we need to win as we are home in the first game. Surely. No. 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 Moussa Diaby gets a goal. 2 goals, but it's not enough. We head into Germany with Bayer Leverkusen having a 1-goal advantage. We're gonna really need to pull our sleeves up and really have a massive comeback. It's now or never, lads. We need a massive comeback here. Nordi Mukalele is out suspended. He's been here since day 1, so Timothy Pembele will slot into that right back position. It's now or never, boys. We get knocked out. Our Champions League dream will go on for another season as Bayer Leverkusen knock us out 2-1. End of season 4. We finished 3rd. It's really good, but I did really want to try and win that league title. Monaco take that. 17 points clear. Yeah, no, there's no chance we're catching up with that. But however, we do finish above PSG for the first time in this series. In this rebuild, we are 1 step closer to making Paris the best team in Paris. And the Coupe de France goes to Marseille, where we do reach the final but get absolutely battered 4-2. It could have been our first piece of silverware. I'm happy we finally made a final, but yeah, I kind of wanted some silverware. But hey, maybe we might win some silverware in season 5. Champions League goes to Manchester City. Funny thing is, we went further than our rivals Paris after they lost to Barcelona. Again, very happy about that. And that's another step from destroying PSG. Europa League winners go to Inter Milan as they beat Newcastle 1-0. And the Conference League goes to Manchester United after they beat Getafe 2-0. And end of season stats. What a season it's been for Arnold Calamunde. 37 goals. 4 assists for the French striker. He has had the best season he has had in this rebuild. I am so happy we signed with him. And the players that won't be returning to club next season is Mustafa Abo, Thomas Ollier, William, yeah, you got no shot at me saying that name, sorry, and Moussa Dembele, who we did originally sign for a backup. He's done his service, and I got to say goodbye to Moussa Dembele. And Mohamed Dow, he will also be leaving on a free agent. Now, at the start of the season, I know I said no unrealistic signings, but, however, hear me out on this, okay? I have to bring this man back to Paris and help us destroy his former club where he once dominated France. Therefore, we're bringing in Kylian Mbappe for £100 million, a club record fee. Welcome back to Paris, but this time Paris FC in Kylian Mbappe. Now, we're in desperate need of a new left back with Baker not growing as much as I need him to. So we are going to go ahead and sign a former starter from PSG in 32-year-old Theo Hernandez, who's currently playing in Chelsea in my save for £32.6 million. Now, starting with departures, I was very upset by this departure. He wanted to leave the club. I wanted to keep him as that backup keeper, but he wanted to move, so he's getting his money marquee move. And that is Obed Nakambiado. He's going to Arsenal for £20 million. And another player who's been with us since day 1. Again, I'm very upset by this, but he's not getting the game time. He's not growing as I expected him to, so he is off. And he's going all the way to Portugal for Sporting Lisbon for £9.3 million. Now, here is another PSG Academy graduate. He is 35 years old, but with the amount of money I did spend on him, I thought, why not? And we do need a world-class keeper. And that is Mike Maignan for £10 million. It was between him or Donnarumma, but I couldn't afford Donnarumma. So instead, we've gone with Mike Maignan. And for squad depth reasons, and we're kind of running low on centre-backs, I've brought in a man you might be familiar with. It is Thiago Kira from Monaco, £6.3 million. Kicking off season 5. This is the squad. No more remaining players from Paris FC. All PSG rejects and former ex-PSG players. Calamundo, Kylian Mbappe, Diaby, Simons, Ugarte and Kunku. The whole lot. This has to be our season. If not, I don't know what team can do anything against this PSG squad. It's now or never. We need to win something. Season 5 is officially underway. This needs to be our season. Bayern Leverkusen. Surely we get a win. Do we have a thing against Bayer Leverkusen? Every time we have played Bayer Leverkusen, we have lost. Oh, this is going to be so long. Right, on to the next game. We need a massive win against AEK Athens. Last time we played them, we did, and we come around for a second time. Mbappe, Xavi. Mbappe is stealing the spotlight off Calamundo. Was this a bad option? I don't think so. Game number 3. We go to the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium to face Tottenham. We need massive 3 points. I believe we can do it. We can. It's Xavi on the score sheet again, and Calimundo is also on the score sheet. There is going to be some goals flying in by Mbappe and Calimundo. 2-1. We took our chances at 6 points to our tally. Now we need to keep this motivation and form going if we want to get to the final. Majority of our team are fit. This should be a nice, easy win. And it is 3-2. Calamundo, Xavi and Kylian Mbappe, all 3 are on the score sheet. What a turnaround this has been. And now we're back in Paris to take on Feyenoord. I'm pretty sure, if I remember correctly, every time we have faced a Netherlands team, or like Feyenoord or whoever, we have won. So can we keep that streak going? Yes. Calamundo, 1-0, 24th minute. This run is just making me so happy, but a little bit nervous. Can we keep this form going? We're almost at the halfway stage, but standing in our way is Rangers. We head to the Ibrox Stadium in Scotland. It's a 1-1 draw. Kylian Mbappe is on the score sheet. It's not too good, but a point is a point. Halfway through season 5, Paris FC are top of Ligue 1 with only 2 defeats, with AS Monaco, who haven't lost a single game all season yet. They were like this last season. They kept up their form and they won it. But can we keep up our form and win it? PSG in 3rd. I think we have completely destroyed them. We may not have the trophies or the statistics, but during this rebuild, we have slowly defeated them. And the board was nice enough to give me another £81 million to spend, which I will gladly use. With our main goalkeeper wanting to leave, who's been with us since season 1. He didn't want to renew a contract. He wanted out of the club. So he is off to the Premier League with Nottingham Forest for £31 million. And with the departure of Bolter, that means we do need a goalkeeper. Now, being late on in the save, there's not very many people to choose from. So I'm going to go for 34-year-old Remy Descamps from Lyon for £1 million. And in desperate need of a new centre-back. We have gone for Bichibi from Real Sociedad for around £67 million. And we're back with Champions League action. Bayern Munich in Paris. And it's a 1-1 draw. Kylian Mbappe, 41th minute. But then literally 2 minutes later, they equalise. What can I do? What can I do? But it's against Bayern Munich, so I'll take that. And the final league phase action as we take on Atletico Madrid. Now, just looking at the squad compared to what it was before, we should win, hopefully. And it's a 1-1 draw. You know what? I will take it. I will take that. Mbappe on the score sheet again. We don't have to go through playoffs, I think anyway, but we'll double check that. Just to confirm, we do automatically go straight to the round of 16 by the skin of our teeth. Round of 16, and we have pulled Tottenham Hotspur yet again. Surely we get a win. We need a win, and we do. Mbappe twice and Manuel Ugarte. Brilliant start. Now all we need to do is win in Paris. We're now in Paris. Round of 16, second leg against Tottenham. Can we pick up a win? 2-0. Diaby and Calamundo are back on the score sheet, and we are heading to the quarter-finals. First leg against Dortmund. Yeah, go, I don't care. It's a 2-0 win. Mbappe misses a penalty. He could have made it 3-0. But luckily, Calamundo and Otavio are on the score sheet to save the day. And now in the second leg, we're in Paris. Borussia Dortmund, we have a 2-goal advantage. All we need to do is maybe get a draw, which we do. We could have won it. Only if Pedro Gonçalves, I'm taking that, didn't score that goal. Theo Hernandez gets sent off. Calamundo and Bichabi both get on the score sheet. So I accidentally simmed the first leg against Bayern Munich on accident. And we lost 3-2. So we're going to need a massive, massive comeback. We need a really big win. Can we get it? 3-1. 3-1. And Paris FC are heading to a Champions League final in season number 5. End of season 5. And Paris FC are champions of France. We finished top, 88 points. PSG, nowhere to be seen. 4th place. Believe it or not, Paris FC have taken down Paris Saint-Germain to become the best team in France. Champions League final against Real Madrid. Will this be the moment we rewrite history in Paris? Which we do. Paris FC are champions of Europe, beating Real Madrid 2-0. And just like that, we make Paris FC the best team in Europe. It took us 5 seasons to win a Ligue 1 and a Champions League. Now, in your opinion, do you think we dethroned PSG? Now, my personal opinion, I think we did. I think by season, we grew stronger and PSG grew weaker. So thank you all so much for watching today's rebuild. If you like this video and you want to watch more, make sure to like and subscribe. Turn on the notifications so you don't miss a single rebuild just like this. See you guys in the next one. Peace.